The 2023 NHL entry draft took place last night in Nashville, and to say the least, as a Habs fan, it gave me some very strong emotions. The top 10 of the entry draft was pretty wild, so today I'll be reviewing the top 10 of the 2023 NHL entry draft. The first overall pick was Connor Bedard, selected by the Chicago Blackhawks, and this was definitely expected. He was a lock for first, and there was a pretty much 0% chance that he dropped to second. Last year in the WHL with the Regina Pats, Bedard scored a crazy 71 goals and 143 total points in only 57 games, so he was well over a goal per game. Bedard doesn't only have an NHL-ready shot, but he actually already has a top NHL shot. He has one of the most accurate shots I've ever seen, and his shot has a lot of power behind it as well. Overall, Bedard is definitely the best player in this draft and was pretty much a guarantee for the first overall pick. The second overall pick belonged to the Anaheim Ducks, who surprised me a bit by selecting Leo Carlsson. Personally, I would have taken Adam Fantilli, who I thought was kind of a lock for second. Carlson isn't a bad pick by any means, as he scored 10 goals and 25 total points in 44 games in the SHL, which is a pretty competitive league and the best league in Sweden. Carlson is an excellent playmaker, has a great vision of the game, and will become an excellent playmaker for the Ducks. The Columbus Blue Jackets had the third overall pick, and they chose Adam Fantilli, which wasn't really a surprise at all. After the Ducks passed up on him, the Blue Jackets just had to take him. Fantilli is a great skater and wins most of his puck battles. With the University of Michigan last year, Fantilli racked up the points with 30 goals and 65 points in only 36 games. With Team Canada in the 2023 World Juniors, he was a bit disappointing with 5 points in 7 games, but he still has tons of potential. The San Jose Sharks picked 4th overall, and they chose Will Smith. In the U.S. National Development Program, Smith just could not stop scoring with 51 goals and 127 total points in just 60 games, so he's an excellent point scorer. He did not disappoint in the World Juniors either, with 20 points in 7 games. Overall, he's a great point scorer and will be a key part of the Sharks' future. At the 5th overall pick, my favorite team, the Montreal Canadiens, chose David Reinbacher.
David.
For me, this was not the right pick. I definitely would have gone with Matvei Michkov, but I guess the Canadiens do need a star defenseman, and Reinbacher was the best defenseman in this draft class. He's actually the highest drafted Austrian-born player ever, and in the Austrian Pro League, he scored 3 goals and 19 assists in 46 games. He will grow to become a solid two-way defenseman, but for me, it was a bit of a disappointing pick. The Arizona Coyotes picked 6th, and they definitely shocked me, along with I think a lot of other people, by choosing Dimitri Simechev. Simashev was predicted by a lot of people to go outside the top 10, but he was selected 6th by the Coyotes. Simashev was another defenseman, and while playing in the MHL last year, he scored 1 goal and 12 points in 33 games. He isn't an amazing pick for the Coyotes, and I probably would have waited until their 12th pick to draft him, but he could still turn into something special. The Flyers picked 7th, and I think they probably got the best pick in the draft, considering their position, by drafting Matvei Michkov. I definitely thought that he was going to drop to the Caps after not going the top 5, but the Flyers ended up picking up Michkov, which I think was definitely the best choice. Michkov is around the same skill level as Connor Bedard, but he dropped because he's under contract in the KHL, which lasts for 2 more years. Michkov scored 9 goals and 20 points in 27 games as an 18-year-old in one of the most competitive leagues in the world. Michkov was a great pick for the Flyers, especially at the 7th pick, and he'll look like an absolute steal in a few years. The Washington Capitals chose Ryan Leonard at the 8th overall pick, but I think was the right choice for them. After Michkov didn't quite slip to 8th, Leonard was the next best pick for the Caps. While playing in the U.S. National Development Program, Leonard scored 51 goals and 94 total points in just 57 games, so he's a great goal scorer. In the U18 World Juniors in 2023, he scored 9 goals and 17 points in 7 games, so he still shines against higher competition. Overall, I think it was the best choice for the Caps after Michkov was picked up. The 9th pick was Nate Danielson, who was selected by the Detroit Red Wings. This was a pretty unexpected pick for me, but he is still a very talented hockey player. In the WHL with the Wheat Kings last season, Danielson scored 33 goals and 78 total points in 68 games. Danielson is a great two-way forward and has the talent to become a top NHL two-way forward. Last but not least, with the 10th overall pick, the St. Louis Blues selected Dalibor Dvorsky, who I was actually shocked was still available. Dvorsky was very good in the 2023 U18 World Juniors with 8 goals in 7 games and 13 total points. He also played a bit in Sweden and scored 10 goals in 10 games and a total of 21 points. Overall, Dvorsky is a very talented goal scorer and will become an elite goal scorer in the NHL for the Blues. And that'll do it for this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you guys were happy with who your team selected in the 2023 draft. For me, as a Habs fan, I wasn't too satisfied. What do you guys think? Comment down below.